Now let's go over to Gail Mercer from the Traders Help Desk, as we do every Tuesday at 10:40 a.m. Eastern Time as we talk about the markets. I think we're going to be talking about a little Forex action this morning. Gail, good morning. Welcome back to TFNN.
Good morning. I hope everyone's doing okay this morning.
We're hanging tough in a positive market. What can you do, right? We are. How's your Tuesday going?
It's going great so far.
Good. Well, I appreciate you sending over charts, getting ready for the interview to provide some listeners with some information about what you're looking at this week. So where would you like to start off? Gail, I have, I think, a Euro-US dollar chart we're looking at here.
Yes, and I'm looking at the euro dollar because we have FOMC on Thursday.
Okay.
And I really want to kind of study and see what they're doing behind the scenes before the announcement.
Nice.
Now, you know, last time it really tanked when the ECB made their announcement in press conference. So I'm wondering if they're going to tank it again, or perhaps, you know, they're going to decide to raise the interest rates and the market will surge.
Yeah, I mean, talk about volatility, right? I mean, I remember we were talking about the FOMC, and then not even looking at that, just in terms of the action you had last week in the euro dollar, in terms of volatility on, of course, the president tweeting out dollar, but in terms of volatility, that dollar providing volatility, which of course provides maybe the option for some volatility as we come into any type of an FOMC statement, whether it's in the US or in the euro for sure. So what are these boundary lines we're looking at here? I see kind of below where we're trading and above where we're trading, and then I see we're looking at, looks like, is the chart on the left a daily chart? Gail, what are we looking at? And the one on the right is a 7?
The one on the left is a daily. The one on the right is half a day.
Okay.
And you can see that you have a clear congestion area. I'm actually hoping to see it come back and test the 1.1600 area.
Okay.
Now, if it does the reverse, let's say on the 720, it actually goes back to test that 1.1750
Yes.
prior to the rate announcement, then I want to read the stochastics around that area. But if it does come down to the 1.1600 area, then I want to read the stochastics there and see if we get some type of divergence, whether it's hidden divergence or trend divergence. Now, a lot of times I'll go down to like a 360 or even a 240 to look and see what the divergences are telling me.
Nice. And are those levels that you'd be looking at trading as we come into, and what time? What time? So that'd be early in our morning, right? 8:30 in the morning? Is that what time the FOMC?
They actually released the rate announcement at 7:45.
Okay.
No, I believe it's at 7, and then they have the press conference right after that.
Okay. I know I'm so used to where I'll wake up and I'll be getting ready with some coffee, and I'll get to watch the market kind of reacting, and the action taking place in Europe, of course, ahead of our day really beginning, but the fun already beginning for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of times I enter these trades with the Nadex.
Yes.
I enter them about 5 minutes before the announcement comes out.
Nice. And of course, because the more time you're in there ahead of time, right, number one, you just open yourself up to movement ahead of the actual underlying news that you're waiting for, but then also you're going to be paying premium the further that you get in there ahead of time, correct?
That's exactly right, and that's the reason I wait till about 5 minutes before, and then I just usually have maybe 30 minutes to an hour in a trade.
Nice. And I'm jumping over here as we speak to some of those Forex, some of the binaries, just because I want to take a peek as we talk about the euro dollar. And so that'll be coming out in the morning. And so I know these are updating continually. Will you be looking for a short-term expiration, Gail, or are you just going to go to maybe one of the 3 p.m. or 11 a.m. dailies where you're going to be exiting out basically far before expiration regardless?
No, actually, I go for the short-term expiration.
Okay.
So, you know, if the press conference is at 8 o'clock, I'm doing a 9 o'clock expiration.
Nice. Nice.
And that way I have both time decay and gamma working in my favor if the market moves in my favor.
Nice. So we have that Euro-US dollar. Go ahead, Basil, please.
I just want to ask, Gail, this is Basil Chapman here. Do you use the slow stochastic or the fast stochastic? Or is it one you rate up? The slow. Okay, yeah, I like the slow because it gives you much better readings, I think.
I know. As Gail was talking about it, Basil, my ears were burning. I said, Basil's a stochastic fan for sure. He's always checking.
I love stochastics. I really do.
Well, I
I've
like to
been
put it
trading the
together with
British pound this morning using the hidden divergence because it's been throwing hidden divergence all morning.
So let's jump around, Gail. I know you sent over a couple more charts. I jumped to the second one, and that's, so what are we looking at here? Talking about some divergence, I guess, as we jump around to a variety of Forex pairs?
Yes, and I really like this one because I can actually monitor all of my time frames within one window. And in this case, I'm looking at the 360 to 720 in the daily. But you can see you have long volume divergence. Now that simply means that the sellers are decreasing on the lows on both the 360 and the 720. Now I like to use that in combination with other signals. For example, on the 720, you know, you have the markets that are oversold on the yen pairs, and then, you know, you also have an ADX showing you that it's potentially overextended on the 360. So the combination of that is telling me that we're probably going to get a retracement on the yen pairs, but by far the best one that's setting up is the British pound yen
Okay.
for
Nice.
the retracements.
Nice. Yeah, those Forex pairs, they can really rock and roll, especially when you have some underlying news come and due.
Yeah, and you know, we have the ECB this week, which is really about the only high volatility report that we have on the Forex. But next week, it's just like everybody's doing their rate announcements. You've got the yen coming out, you've got the British pound, you got the FOMC. So this week, there's going to be a lot of setups for next week where they're either buying or selling into these rate announcements next week.
And Gail, I know you are doing a core class over at the Nadex website. And when is that? I had it up here. Is it Wednesday? Excuse me, Thursday?
No, it's actually the first week of August on the first Wednesday in August.
Nice. Let me jump over there. So, folks, if you just go over to tfnn.com, we were talking to our man John Skelton earlier in the show. He is doing one tomorrow. That's probably where I got confused. But you click on Nadex Educational Webinars, you scroll down, and there it is. Okay, August 1st, which is, yes, okay, that is a week from tomorrow. Cool. So avoiding the mistakes that most new traders made. We got about 30 seconds, Gail. What kind of mistakes are you going to be talking about in that workshop?
The number one is being undercapitalized, and number two is just getting greedy. You forget what your job is as a trader, and basically it's taking profit.
No, I mean, risk allocation in many things in life is such an important factor. You got to be alive for that next trade. You got to keep your risk in check for sure. Gail, thank you so much. Thanks for coming on as always. Thanks for sending over those charts. And we look forward to talking to you next week. And we, of course, look forward to that workshop. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gail.
Okay, folks, come on back. We got markets at all-time highs. NASDAQ at all-time highs. Basil and I will be right back.